Hi, today I'm going to do a review of the European Goddesses and Spirits Oracle deck. This deck is created by Johanna Polle. She is from Germany and she kindly reached out to me to ask if I wanted to receive and review this deck. And here we are. So I am super excited about this deck. I'm from the Netherlands, so I am European, and I do have to say that when she reached out and she said like, oh, it's a European goddess deck, I was like, but aren't most goddesses decks that contain goddesses? What am I even saying? Anyway, aren't most of the usually included goddesses from Europe? And I do think that we've had a really nice evolution, if that is the right word, where we see more cultures represented in decks. But this deck is specifically about European goddesses and spirits. So let's take a look. She also gave me this stunning sticker that I love. She gave me a bunch of information about the Oracle deck, so that is really cool. And this deck will come to Kickstarter on May 1st, and I will link that down below in case you want to pick this up or you want to check out the campaign. There also is a companion book that you can get separately, and I also got that from Johanna, so that is super nice. But let's start with the deck first. This deck has 40 cards as well as a 70+ page guidebook that it comes with the deck itself. The box feels like that rose petal finish. I don't love the box necessarily. I don't know if this is like the final thing. I don't think there was anything said about that. I don't love that we can see these white things here, but you know, when it comes to tuck boxes, I'm usually kind of specific in what I like and what I don't like. But here are the cards, and I will say this is definitely a deck that I would like to keep in a bag that I made myself. Actually, let me do a little bag match. I used to keep my Modern Witch Tarot in this satin bag, and I think this actually works really well. Yeah, I like it. So it does say here that upgrades to the cards and the box are potential Kickstarter stretch goals. And the deck contains deities from Celtic, Germanic, Greek, Norse, and Slavic culture. And when I was flipping through this deck, I was really excited to actually see a Dutch goddess in there as well, which we'll talk about. But first, let's take a look at the little guidebook. So this is the guidebook that comes with the deck. This is not the big companion book that you can get separately. We have a little introduction, information about Johanna and how to work with the cards, and then also how they are divided. What is that word? Like with archetypes? Yeah, it says here the goddess archetypes. The term archetype refers to a collectively inherited unconscious idea of a certain character traits. Yeah. And then we go into information about these archetypes: the dark, the leader, the lover, the mother, the sage, the untamed, the virgin, and the witch. And then it shows you keywords for every archetype as well as what cards are associated with that archetype. There's already another layer that you can work with this deck. And I really appreciate when Oracle decks do that, when just you can work with the cards all by themselves, but then there are layers to sort of deepen your connection, your work with that deck. And then for every card, we see the name of the deity, the name of the card, as well as a keyword. Then we have information about the deity, about what the card means when we pull it in a reading, and sort of like the message of the deity. And then we also have some questions, some like reflection questions that I think are really cool and really add something as well. Because what I really like to do, and I know I'm not the only one, is to start off a reading with an oracle card and then look at the theme of that oracle card to decide sort of the rest of the tarot reading as a sort of starting off point. And then after the card meanings, we have a reference to the companion book. Now we can take a look at the cards. So the cards are fine. I will say that if you are a cardstock snob or enthusiast, if you will, you probably would love it if the Kickstarter, like, what is it called? stretch goal for the card quality upgrade if that comes into completion, because like for me this is fine. Like it shuffles fine, it feels fine, it looks fine, but if you are more specific and more picky about your card stock, then this might not be up to your standards, let's just say that. I absolutely love the artwork. That is something that I already have to say, and the whole vibe of this deck, I think it is absolutely stunning, and it really fits, I think it really fits my vibe as well, because I love the not super realistic but more cartoony, bright colors. That type of artwork is something that I really like, that I really vibe with, that I connect with. So that means that this is a deck that works really well in my collection, and I definitely see myself pairing it with a bunch of my favorite decks. So let's go through the deck here, and some of these spirits, some of these deities, goddesses, I do not know. And I think that's pretty cool because it means that there's a story there that I have yet to sort of uncover. One criticism that I will say about this deck, which is something that I say about all decks, all oracle decks, I should say, is if they don't have an actual keyword on the card. Because here I have a beautiful picture, a beautiful artwork, I should say, and the name of the deity, but I don't know this deity, so I have to rely on the guidebook to read with this deck. I think this is really pretty. I love the deer on the image as well. I think it's really pretty. But yeah, I don't know all of these deities, so I have to rely on the guidebook. And if there was even just one keyword, like here with a baby Baba Yaga, let's see, we have authenticity. And if it said Baba Yaga and then authenticity on the card, I would absolutely be able to work with this card all by itself. And then if I want more information, I can go to the guidebook. Sorry guys, my voice is sort of, well, because I've been talking all week. I got a new assignment for my new job, so I've been talking constantly. I'm not sick or anything. I just sort of a sore throat from all the talking. But look at these. I am absolutely obsessed with the artwork. I think it is stunning, and you can definitely see like something here. So here we have Caradwin? I have no idea, but we have some wheat here. So I assume that is relevant to the keyword. Oh, we have transformation. It's the keeper of the cauldron of inspiration, rebirth, and transformation. So we do have the cauldron here, and I do not know these symbols personally. But like I said, I do love the artwork. Ooh, the pig's head. Oof. This is stunning. So yeah, like I said, I do love the artwork, but I also love the concept of this deck. And we're gonna see a goddess from the Netherlands when we are at the letter N. And that is a goddess that I don't often see. Like we often see Freya in a deck, or Gaia. I think, again, the images are stunning. But I don't know this one. Of course, I know Hecate. I also think this is going to be a deck that is going to be really amazing to pair with my Mythic Tarot, because that is all about Greek deities, as well as like Medusa. Would she be a deity or like just a creature, beings? I usually say. Here we have Holda, and this might be someone that if you are from this area, you might recognize her. But this is Vrouw Holle, and I know her as Vrouw Holle in Dutch. And I first got to know about this deity, or what would you say, this woman, I guess, in a Dutch fairy tale park. I think it's like Disney, but different. It's called the Efteling, and there is a tale about Vrouw Holle. So it says here, Holda is a wise woman who values hard work and dedication. One of her most popular fairy tales is the story of Gold Mary and Pitch Mary. I will say this is translated, so I'm not really sure what that refers to, because I probably learned about this story in Dutch. But yeah, here we see Vrouw Holle. which she is usually known by. But I think that's really cool because in a lot of goddesses, deities decks, you don't get Holda, you don't get Frau Holle. And I think that's really cool. And I look very much forward to get to know more of those types of deities that might be known very locally, but not really internationally, if you would say. So this is Nehalenia, and she is a Dutch goddess. And I know this story because I was researching whatever deities, pagan deities we have here in the Netherlands, because I felt like a lot of them were Germanic, which is more in the region of Germany and Austria. And then there's also like the Celtic, which is the other way. Then you have the Greek and Roman. But then there's not really something in the Netherlands until I learned about Nehalenia. And sailors would pray to Nehalenia for safe passage, for safe travels, so to say. So I found it absolutely amazing that Nehalenia is actually included in this deck. And it says here, due to her strong connection to water, an element that has played a major role in Dutch history, she is considered to be one of the most important goddesses of the Netherlands. And I would say that that is true within paganism. If I ask a random person on the street if they know who Nehalenia is, they would say no. But if you ask a random person on the street in Germany who Frau Holle is, I'm pretty sure they would at least have heard of her. So I thought it was really cool to have that in here. And again, I look very much forward to getting to know more deities around in like more specific places in Europe that I have never heard about and that you don't often hear about. So I have also heard from followers and Discord members that Johanna really knows her stuff, that she really knows what she talks about, and she's really knowledgeable about this stuff. So I think it's really cool that she came out with the deck and that some of my viewers already, this is beautiful, that some of my viewers already knew about Johanna. So, and this also is really, really stunning. Yeah, so I have worked with this deck. Obviously, it is a review, not a first impressions, but I have definitely not come across all of the cards while doing readings. But again, I have found this deck to be a really great starting off point. I haven't really been called to do very big readings, but just one card at a time. And I found that that works really, really well with this, especially because again, there's no keyword on the card. So if I were to pull multiple cards from this deck, then I'd have to look up multiple meanings in the guidebook. Maybe I would write down some of the keywords on the card. I have done that for my Dark Mirror Oracle as well, and that makes it so much easier to read with. So that might actually be something that I want to do. I didn't even really think about that until right now. I also want to take a look at the companion book because some of you might be interested in that, especially if you are very deep into, you want to get deeper into European goddesses and spirits. Ooh, that's so beautiful. So this very much reminds me of the goddess, what is the name? The Beneath the Moon, I think, book that doesn't come with, but that is sort of a companion book to the Tarot of the Divine. There's also something similar with, oh, I don't remember the name. Another goddess deck that I know of that I used to own, and it happens more. This is not the first time that you get the option to get a separate companion book to read deeper into the stories. So here we have the table of contents. We have all of the goddesses and spirits in alphabetical order. Love that. The same goes for the little companion or the little guidebook. This also has everything in alphabetical order, which I appreciate because there's no card numbers, but it's just in alphabetical order. So you can actually find what you're looking for. So here's an introduction, more in depth about how to work with the cards. And then you have a divination approach. So this is more as an oracle deck, like a divination system. And then in this part, we see a lot, again, about the archetypes. We have the same information here about all of the archetypes. And then besides the divination, divination approach, you also have the devotional approach if you are interested in working with goddess energy in your life, in your practice. and you can use this deck as well. And then it has a whole a few pages on how to do that. And then it also comes with a couple of card spreads, 1 card questions, 2 card spreads, 3 card spreads. This is an aspects of the goddess spread, and then also a wheel of the year spread, which I think is really cool. Then we get into the cards and meanings, and this is, oh God, I think this is so stunning. We have a beautiful full page, full color image of the card, and I think it's absolutely stunning. It's definitely, I will say, the colors are not the same, or not exactly the same. And I will say that I love the colors in this book actually more than on here, because here it has a more peachy skin tone, and here she's more pink. So but that might be part of the what is it called, like the Kickstarter stretch goals. I keep forgetting the word because I have never bought from Kickstarter myself, because you can only pay with a credit card. And let's compare the information that is in this book to the information that we have in a little guidebook, to see what you are actually like paying for, that you get more than what you get in with the deck, if that makes sense. So here, like I said, we have a bit about the deity, and then for the divination approach, if you will, and a little bit more of like the goddess message and some questions. That is what we get here. And here we get not just one keyword, but a couple of themes that are associated with the deity. We go a little bit more in depth about what type of goddess this is. So this is all about sort of the goddess, and then this is more about her associations. So a strong connection to County Limerick in Ireland. Then we have her feast is midsummer, the longest day of the year where the sun is at its peak, etc. And then more references, or more, what should I say, like battery died, but I'm back. We have more associations here, a little bit about the myths, if you will, more about her story. And then here we have, when it comes to the divination approach, we have a whole message about the keyword associated with the deity, which in this case is sovereignty. And we have a whole piece of what you can read that corresponds to a message about sovereignty and how it applies potentially to your life, or how you can see it applied or present in your life. And then again, we have these questions, and it looks like these questions are the same as we have in the small guidebook. And then after the divination approach, we get into the devotional approach. Here says an inspiration for ritual, and then again we have correspondences. So we have fire, meadowsweet, and fairies, and how you can sort of work with, or get some inspiration for rituals to work with this deity. Amy, I have no idea. And that is what you get. So you get 4 pages for every deity. One of those pages is the full color image, which is differently colored than the card. And then we have keywords, the whole story and references, or again, associations, a divination message, and then inspiration for devotional work. And I think that's pretty cool. And we have the same for all of the other cards here. Do really, really like this. And I think if you want to work with this deck simply in a divination way, simply using with like the divination approach, then I think you have enough with this. If you just wanted to use as a general oracle deck, general divination, an oracle deck, I think this is enough. But if you want to dive deeper into the stories behind about, I guess, these deities in a divination way, and even want to add devotional practice, I guess, about with these deities into your practice, then I think this companion book really adds something really cool, I guess, to your practice. So let's go to the last pages here, what we see, we have an overview here. What I think is actually pretty cool, I'm seeing this and thinking about this just now, is you can literally scan this in and print it out so you have little minis of every card for your tarot journal. What I usually do is I take pictures of every single card and then I make my own like sheet that looks like this in Google Docs, and then I print that. But here that work is sort of already done for you, so I think that's really handy for those of you who like to work with the miniatures in your tarot journal. And then we have bibliography, where you can reference if you want to read more about the sources that Johanna used. And I really like that she included this. I think it adds a lot of credibility. Oh, I see that she also mentioned Polish folk witch here, her Patreon. That's really cool. And then some more information about Johanna. Let's see if there's any information that I missed that I want you to know. Yeah, again, I think that if you want to get the companion book, it's for readers who want to use the deck as more than a divination tool, but to form relationships with goddesses and become inspired for their personal ritual practice. I like that Johanna made sure that all the texts are written as inclusive as possible using gender neutral language. All texts have been revised in cooperation with a mental health professional, which I think is really cool. And she also mentions that no AI was used in the creation of this deck. I think that's really important to note. And I know a lot of you are also not really enthused, if you want to say it like that, to purchase AI created decks. Now that we have gone through all of the cards, I want to do a little shuffle test to show you. I think this deck shuffles really, really well. Again, the cardstock isn't like super top-notch, isn't anything to really write home about, but because it's not like super glossy, but it has a little bit of a shine and a little bit of is slick the right word, which makes the overhand shuffle just flawless, basically. And then the riffle shuffle I have a lot of trouble doing the riffle back. What is that called? With my long fake nails. Okay. If you want to do that, you're definitely gonna bend your cards. I'm just gonna say that. I think this deck works really well with an overhand shuffle. So let's take a look actually at some deck matches. I think some of you might like to see that. If that is not something that you want to see, if you do not care about deck matches, let me know and I won't do them again. So this is my Mythos Tarot. I also did a review on this, and this is all with Greek deities, beings, that whole thing. Yeah, that works so well. Everything is crooked. Like, what is going on? I do not know. But look at how beautiful, like aesthetically beautiful. And then we already knew this is transformation. Then we have the Four of Swords. Is this still in order? I don't think so. We have the Four of Swords and we have the Three of Swords. Ooh, Soul, Persephone, and Nike. Oof. I have to say, ooh, I am just a little bit obsessed. Just a little bit obsessed with this. I also think this might work well with my Good Karma Tarot. I don't know, there's something about this that I like. I don't know. It's not like super where you're like, oh, it's like it's like not like super obvious, but I do think that it works together. I don't know, I am getting chills. We have Artemis, the King of Wands, and the Fool. I think it's pretty. So this definitely is not as cartoony as my Good Karma Tarot, but I somehow feel like the vibe matches because this is like a very calming, uplifting vibe. And I think this is very much a neutral vibe deck. It has some like spiritual vibes. Oh, saying that, I do have another tarot deck that I feel has like the super spiritual vibes. And that is my Unfolding Path Tarot. This is a deck that really challenges me to think and be a little bit more in the spiritual, and I already feel like this vibes together really well. I hate that it is so crooked, but I haven't really filmed a lot of overhead videos in a while. So let's see. I think this is really beautiful. I'm getting chills as well. Oof. The Queen of Wands, Hulda, and the Ten of Cups. Oh, I love, this is like one of my favorite. Page of Cups, Gaia, Lovers. Okay, tell me this is not the absolute best match. Like what? Wait, I see a pink card here. I want to see this. Yeah, I am obsessed. Okay, and not just aesthetically, but also just vibe and energy wise. I think this might probably be my favorite match. So this was my review of the European Goddesses and Spirits Oracle deck by Johanna Polle. I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments down below. Again, all the relevant links will be in the description box. I've been really enjoying doing these reviews a little bit more in depth and talk through style instead of the heavily edited reviews that I usually do. So let me know how you like this. If you want to see more tarot chats and deck reviews, definitely subscribe to this channel. I would love to have you here. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!